You guys, we need to talk about what's going on between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. I know, you're probably exhausted hearing about it by now, but I've been following every twist in this lawsuit, and trust me, this week's update is wild. We're talking emotional distress, medical records, and a whole lot of courtroom drama. It's been a rough ride for Blake. This lawsuit, it's not exactly showing her in the best light. As most of you know, Blake's multi-million-dollar lawsuit has exploded into a full-blown Hollywood circus. It's gotten so messy that, according to rumors, even Taylor Swift has stopped texting her back. And honestly, who could blame her? Especially after Taylor got dragged right into the middle of it. So here's where it all started. Blake filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni and his production company, accusing them of creating a toxic, retaliatory environment while filming It Ends With Us. She claimed Justin made unwanted advances and tried to sabotage her career. Justin, of course, denied everything and hit back hard with a $400 million countersuit accusing Blake, her husband, and her publicist of defamation and using the media to destroy his name. Then came the Taylor Swift bombshell. Justin's legal team subpoenaed Taylor, and his lawyer claimed that Blake had threatened her own best friend, allegedly demanding public support, or else their private texts would be leaked. Not a good look for Blake. Eventually, the subpoena was dropped, but the damage already done. And this week, it gets even messier. Blake has now dropped one of the biggest parts of her lawsuit, her emotional distress claims against Justin. Her team says it's just to narrow the case and focus on harassment and retaliation. But Justin's camp is convinced there's more to it. They say Blake's real reason is that she doesn't want to hand over private medical and mental health records, including HIPAA authorizations, as part of discovery. Blake's lawyers fired back immediately, calling that claim nothing more than a press stunt. They insist she's just focusing the case, and yes, emotional distress is still part of the damages, even if it's no longer a standalone claim. According to them, Justin's team is twisting things, trying to paint her as uncooperative when they've known for a while that she planned to drop this part. Now it's up to the court to decide, does Blake have to turn over her medical records anyway? And if her emotional distress claims are dismissed, will they be dismissed permanently with prejudice, or can she bring them back later? Justin's team sent a letter to the judge, basically saying she can't have it both ways. If Blake wants to drop the claims, fine, but then they want the court to permanently dismiss them, so she can't sneak them back into the case later. And if she refuses, then they say she must hand over her psychiatric records. Why? Because, according to them, by bringing up emotional and physical injuries in the lawsuit, Blake has put her mental state on the table and waived doctor-patient privilege. That's what they argued in court. They said, you can't claim emotional distress without showing the receipts. But then, plot twist, the judge stepped in and shut that down. He denied the motion to force Blake to hand over her medical records. However, he also didn't let her dismiss the emotional distress claims just yet. Instead, he told both sides, figure it out. Either agree to drop the claims with or without prejudice, or Blake has to file a proper motion and ask again. He made one thing very clear. If Blake doesn't officially dismiss those claims soon, she won't be allowed to bring up emotional distress during trial at all. Basically, the judge is done with the games. No loopholes, no strategy. Either follow the rules, or that part of the case is gone. So after all this chaos, we're still at a standstill. No real progress. And now Blake's team is asking the court to stop Justin's lawyers from clogging up the system with what they're calling baseless motions, designed only to get headlines and make Blake look bad. Honestly, it just feels like both sides and their legal teams are too stubborn to back down. Some people have floated the idea of a settlement, but let's be real. Have you seen how vicious this has gotten? Blake is convinced Justin ruined her career and reputation, and Justin believes Blake tried to steal the movie from him and destroyed his name with that New York Times article. These two are locked in, and neither one is letting go, and Deadline confirmed it this week. Sources close to both sides say there is zero chance of a settlement. They're too far gone. It's turned into a war. Blake and Ryan Reynolds have been pulled way out of their carefully curated image. And Justin, WME dropped him. His career's basically dead in Hollywood right now. But beyond the court drama, the real question people are asking is, can Blake and Taylor ever fix their friendship? We talked about this before, how Justin dragged Taylor into all this, the subpoena, the alleged texts. But as of this week, the New York Post says Taylor has completely iced Blake out. According to them, Taylor hasn't responded to any of Blake's pleas. She's ignored every apology, every explanation, no matter how desperate. One source said Blake's been sending messages saying it's all a misunderstanding, that she'd never hurt Taylor or betray their decade-long friendship. But Taylor feels betrayed. She feels used. And apparently she's done. The Insider put it bluntly, Blake is blaming Justin for ruining the friendship. But fans watching this unfold are starting to question her choices. Because let's be honest, threatening to expose your friendship with Taylor to win an argument over a rooftop scene in a movie? That's not a good look. And a lot of people are saying maybe if Blake were just a little more honest, things would be different. Like if she said, you know what? I didn't like Justin's version of the movie. I had a different vision. I wanted more control. The studio liked my take. I didn't mean to hurt him. That would feel real. Or if she admitted, I should have promoted the film better. I should have respected the story more. People might actually respect that kind of accountability. But instead, it's been denial after denial and finger pointing at Justin and his team. team. And the longer that goes on, the more people are starting to say, maybe there's more to this story than we. I'd really love to hear what you think in the comments. You guys mean the world to me, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.